Everyone, and welcome to the Political Job Interview, where I interview candidates running for election. I'm Vincenzo Calla, the host, and today I take on the role as the boss, giving a job interview to today's candidate, Myles Egli. Myles is running for election for Ottawa City Council as a candidate for Ward 9, Knoxdale-Merivale. Thanks, Myles, for your time, and thanks for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me, Vincenzo.
Well, it's great to have you here for the 60th episode of the Political Job Interview, and let's get this interview started. As with any good job interview, I'm going to start off with an opportunity to learn more about Myles. So, first off, can you tell me a bit about yourself and your story?
Absolutely. First off, I'm the brother of the sitting councillor, Keith Egli. I've lived in the ward for the last 30 years. I've raised my two boys here. I've been president of the Mannerdale-Woodville Community Association for the last 9 years. And I actually quit my job on June 30th of this year to immerse myself in the community and get to know what the concerns of the residents were. It's appropriate that you call this a job interview because that's what I basically put out on my platform and my webpage, that this is a job interview between me and the residents to decide if I'm the best person to become the councillor for the next 4 years.
And now I wanted to ask you, why did you decide to run for this position? Like I know your brother has been the counselor for many years now, and he decided not to run. Why did you decide to step up to hopefully fill his shoes as the next counselor for Knoxdale-Merivale?
I decided to step up because this community has given so much to me and my family over the last 30 years. It's been part of our lives, and I wanted to give back more. I felt a void in my life. I've been a production manager for 20 years, and it was a fulfilling job, but it was still lacking something. I grew up in a family where giving back to the community was very important, and it's been a very much part of my life. So I decided, without even telling my brother, that I was going to run to replace him. I've been very much involved with the community association and the residents, and I think I have something. Being a politician, I think I have a more clear view sometimes of what needs to be done.
Let's take a bit of time now to talk about this job and what you bring to it. So first off, I wanted to ask you, what experience do you bring to this job, and maybe expand a bit on that being president of the community association, some other stuff that you bring to it, to the job.
Well, as being a production manager, I was involved in scheduling and timelines and customer service. And to me, the residents of Ward 9, if I'm elected, are my customers, and I'm there to serve them. And that's priority one to me, to reach out to them, to be open to them, to communicate with them. City Hall has lacked transparency over the last few years, and it's also lacked a kindness that I think should be brought back. I'm a consensus builder. I listen to the concerns of the residents, and I've been told on numerous occasions I may not always agree with what they have to say, but I take the time to listen to them, and I'm a straight shooter. And I think it's time that we bring that back to City Hall. I'm not affiliated with any political party, so I'm an independent. So I'm willing to listen to everybody and find the best solutions possible going forward.
And now I wanted to ask you, Knoxdale-Merivale is one of the biggest wards in terms of candidates. I think it's the second biggest in terms of candidates running. And there are a lot of you. So I wanted to ask you, what sets you apart from the other candidates who are running for this position?
One of it is the amount of time I've actually lived in the ward. I believe out of all the candidates running, I've lived in the ward the longest, so I have a better idea of a lot of the ward. Being involved with the community association as long as I have, I've also gotten to know a lot of the stakeholders that I'll be dealing with projects going forward. And I bring an openness that may not be available from all the others. I'm a consensus builder.
Part of serving as an elected official is serving the people who elect you. So a few questions about how Myles wants to serve the people. So first off, I wanted to ask you, what's something that the people of Knoxdale-Merivale need that you want to get done if elected? What do you want to bring forward and do as councillor if you are elected?
There's three key things that I think we have to take care of in a timely fashion. One is emergency preparedness, two is affordable housing, and three is a public transportation that's reliable and affordable. This ward, and in particular the area in which I live in and the surrounding areas, have been hit by both a tornado and a derecho. we don't have a proper emergency preparedness plan. I would push forward to have all community buildings include generators going forward. So there's hubs when the power goes out where people can go and charge their phone, connect to the Wi-Fi, find out what's going on in the surrounding communities, get a hot meal. We did that after the tornado at the community building. It was very effective. As far as affordable housing, I would implement that all new bills have a minimum of 20% affordable housing built into them. We have to take care of the less fortunate in our community, and we're not doing it. We declared a housing emergency, and yet little is being done to solve it. When it comes to public transportation, we need an affordable, reliable public transportation system. Our ridership is way down, and part of the problem is the buses don't take people where they want to go anymore. We seem to have a system that the city says everybody wants to go downtown. Well, if you live in my ward, you don't necessarily want to go downtown. If you have a teenage son or daughter that's going to a job, they're not going downtown to go to their job, they're going to their local malls. The buses need to take people where they have to go, not where the city seems to think we need to go. And we have to build trust back into our system. Right now, there's very little trust with the way the LRT1 has gone. And going forward, I would fix LRT1, complete LRT2, and put a complete pause on LRT3 until we're sure of how we're going forward.
And finally, I wanted to ask you now, what's an accomplishment that you've achieved that demonstrates why you'll be a good elected official if the people choose you? Like, what's an accomplishment that you're proud of that shows why you'll be a good elected official?
The biggest accomplishment I'm proud of is something that just got completed. We just finished the renewal of Roundhay Park. It's a much older park. It's been here the whole time I've been in the community, and it was falling apart. It was in disrepair. So through consultations between the city, the residents, and the current councillor, we came up with a plan that's accessible for everybody. We came up with through help from one of the residents, we actually came up with pouring rubber down for the pathways, which is much more easy for the accessibility than the wood chips that have been in the past. It's not something new, but it's something that's a little bit more expensive. We're trying it out in this area, as well as all the amenities in the park are accessible, as well as the park benches, so that people can sit there. And if you have a wheelchair, you can have access to the park benches. It is something going forward. We have to work more and more with the residents and all the stakeholders to move forward. It's something I truly believe in, that all the stakeholders have to be brought to the table if we're going to go forward in a positive way.
Thank you, Myles, so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
It was great having you, and I'm sure the viewers have enjoyed hearing what you have to offer to them. Election day is October 24th, 2022, and if you liked hearing what Myles Egli had to say and live in Ward 9, Knoxdale-Merivale, you have the opportunity to vote for him on Election Day. Check with your local election officials for more details. To stay updated, make sure to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at BC Productions25. Check out my website, VincenzoCalla.com. Make sure to like, subscribe, and choose to get notifications here on YouTube. The political job interview is a VCalla production, so until the next video, I'm Vincenzo Calla, signing out.